Lally ho, friends. We are back from our week off, fully prepared. I have spent that entire time just prepping for this one session. I haven't. That's a lie. I was on a cruise. But we're back. We're all back, ready to pick up from what I thought was kind of a cliffhanger, because I'm kind of a jerk, I guess, leaving you with that right before we go off. So quick recap. The survivors have made their way back from the Sunken Temple. They have retrieved the essence of Leviathan, residing in our Way of the Four Elements monk, Ava, who now has basically the essence of two icons, which are essentially the deities of this world, just kind of living within him. They've made their way back to the town of Balamb, or the city of Balamb, more likely, and to break the news that the water crystal's pretty much shot at this point, too. So now that's 2 crystals down that need to be rebooted by finding the mother crystal. But they have unlocked new jobs. So once they got back to town, they've got a couple pieces of information. One, Sid had something he wanted to talk to them about. Hikael, which is Izzy's brother, is back in town to let Grunthor know that the lady, who is from his past in some way, is starting to remember things and has been wanting to talk to him. So the team has decided to have a small war council, for lack of a better word, to determine what their next steps are, including Squall and Renoa, the president and vice president of Balamb, Hikael, who is the Archmage's son of the city of Mysidia, and Sid, who is basically just an uber-smart bunny. But right before they decided to kind of get together, Ava received a message from his contact back in Cornelia, and just a reminder, that town had been assaulted by creatures from the sea, so they had all fled and are now residing in the old Wind Temple, right? Letting him know that something has come down in Morrow. Since if you've been watching from the beginning, you'll remember who Morrow is. If you've just tuned in recently, that was one of their first contacts, an elven person who worked for the king of Cornelia, begrudgingly, is coming down with some kind of sickness, which is a little bit alarming, as there are currently known plagues going through the world of Fantasia, of which Grunthor knows that he has some connection to. With that, though, we'll pick up right there, because, Ava, I don't think I let you respond before we cut, if I'm not mistaken. So you do have a response if you would like to send Leonhardt something back.
I'll just ask how many other adults are there with them.
Okay. So, just so you know, you've got one response, and then the way it works is she can send you one, and you can respond. Then you can send her one, and she can respond. So she can only answer one question.
So I have to use...
You'd have to use yours for her to respond back to you.
Okay.
And you're only going to get one response today, so...
That's fine.
Okay. There's a brief pause. You hear an and then there's a pause, as though she's doing, 8-year-old math or whatever.
Are you the one?
Maybe 40?
Don't like that.
Small number, based on what you know from Cornelia. I don't know what to do. There's a couple people getting sick, actually. Morrow seems worse off. That's all you get. You're out of call-in responses with this particular item. There might be other ways to contact her, but as far as your sending stones, that's where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What are you all doing? So at this point, Squall, you kind of all alone. Squall has gone off basically to start organizing the meeting, to gather Renoa, to gather Sid. Hikael would probably stay with you all. He has nowhere else to go.
Yeah, as they're going to the... Wait, when will the War Council be?
He said to give him probably 2 hours, and then to meet back in.
Really?
Yeah.
2 hours.
Okay, so that's the case. Then Izzy is going to speak to Hikael because they have some planning to do.
Okay.
And I think despite them growing up together, I don't think they know the full extent of each other's abilities. So I think this question is very prevalent. And he's going to ask Hikael. And he just says, brother, can you teleport on your own? Or do you need help with an item like I do?
I've been working on it, but I haven't quite mastered that spell yet. I've been relying typically on the teleportation network that we have. Mysidia has quite an extensive one that I use that to get around, but as far as taking myself places unaided, I'm afraid I haven't quite mastered that yet.
Do you have access to any spells that can allow you to move at speeds faster than walking?
I do have those, yes. I can fly, if that's what you're asking. Other things like that.
Hold on, because I'm about to look up to see, because I have a spell that I don't remember if sorcerers can even cast it, so that might be null and void. Give me a second.
Go for it. While he's looking that up, anybody else got anything you want to do? At the moment, keep in mind, only Ava knows the news.
I was just going to say, I'm going to share the news and say, well, Lord... Oh, fuck, what's his name again?
Morrow.
Morrow, yep. Lord Morrow is sick, guys. And so are some other people at the Wind Temple.
Oh, from back in Cornelia.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I half forgot about those guys for a second then.
That's great.
Is it snake pops?
Not like that.
I don't know. My young contact isn't informed enough to know the difference.
Did they sound like worried, or is it just like kids being kids? They're not sure everyone's sick.
A little worried about this one.
Shit.
Did she happen to mention the symptoms or anything? Or just that they were sick?
No, just that they were sick and that Mara was a little bit worse than everybody else.
I have message. I can follow up.
Do you have sending?
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I made that mistake a few sessions ago. I was like, I can do this. No, I can't.
Oh, yeah, I do have sending.
Okay.
Damn it.
It would be nice to know if we're dealing with an outbreak of the pox. It would be quite curious to me.
If it's an outbreak of the pox, it's something that we're going to need help dealing with, because I'm sure that they've had clerics look at it. Cornelia has plenty of access, but I'm not sure if they have any holy people. But if it's just a regular disease, or sickness, we have two people who could most likely deal with it properly, but we need more information.
We do.
We could probably cure a basic one.
If it's the pox, though, that raises some additional questions.
Yeah, like how has it gotten out of the Empire? Because
exactly.
Didn't your dad say that you guys kind of... sorry, still a bit upset about that one. I apologize. Didn't you guys say, or your dad said, that it was like specifically to target the outer regions of the Empire City? I forgot
we did.
City name.
The Holy Gorlandian Empire.
Thank you. I wasn't sure.
We contained.
I was gonna call it Garlemald.
That's very close.
Cool, sweet. Sorry.
We contained the threat in the way that we did, but as I've explained to Grunthor in great detail, the origin of this pox is not from this continent. It comes from the Beastlands to the east. The only carriers I know of would be travelers from that region. The two I know that were infected are in quarantine, and Grunther has been subjected to multiple tests to verify that he is not a carrier. So if this has appeared in Cornelia, it raises some questions, especially if there's no trail. The cities, the towns leading from the Empire to Cornelia, if there are outbreaks there, perhaps someone escaped our quarantine.
Did the two in your care, you mentioned that one of them wanted to speak to me. Does that mean they are no longer ill, or?
They are still a carrier. They were never ill. They have the ability to pass this on, but for them, they are asymptomatic. That's why they're in quarantine. However, the lady, she did ask to speak to you, but she wasn't giving me anything else. She wouldn't give me her name. It's just one day she seemed different and requested that I bring you to her. And she refused to tell me anything else. But she is still in quarantine until we can verify that she is no longer contagious.
Well,
you could speak to her in the manner that you did before.
Judging by that logic, then, Grunthor couldn't either has it and is asymptomatic, as you said, or couldn't be contagious, because we've been traveling for months together. We've been in major cities. We've been around so many people, and
I am fairly confident.
Unless the crystals give us some stupid power, we haven't. None of us have been sick.
Wait, what did you say?
With that he's been traveling with us for months.
No. The bit after that.
With the crystals. Like, maybe the crystals have done something with us. Like, 'cause we haven't done anything. We haven't got anything.
Oh shit!
Grunthor, did you have contact with this Morrow character before coming in contact with the crystal? The wind crystal, that is.
I believe so. Yes.
And remind me, once this happened, something changed in the chemical makeup, the properties of the crystals you carry on yourselves.
I mean, they're different, but I don't really think they've changed much other than we've had access to different stuff. It doesn't feel different. It doesn't really feel like much has happened. But
okay.
With that logic, I've been working with people that have had the pox for almost 1,000 years since I started working with the Empire as a cleric in the clergy, and I don't remember ever getting ill. I don't remember ever getting sick.
That is an interesting point. Perhaps
I've never been sick either. Sorry, I'm here, down here.
Sorry.
He's doing a Lalafell jump thing.
I'm here too.
But yeah, our village, we had travelers come in from outside, and we were overrun with how many people were sick, and I've never been sick. We lost a couple of our clerics, but not as many were helping.
Give me a quick history check, Blake.
Okay.
14. Okay. You will remember as you're kind of putting things together, for the longest time, I mean, you've had plagues and things like that. As far as the pox is concerned, as you're kind of piecing things together in your head, the timeline of that does seem to line up with when you encountered Grunthor the first time. afterwards. The major outbreaks seemed to happen after the outsiders came and went. He was with the other two, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So, hold on. Nozak.
Yes.
We've never actually studied anyone like you before because, well, we've never met anyone else like you, really.
Mm-hmm.
There could possibly be something in your genetics that helps you fight off this disease. But there could also be something to these crystals. Perhaps... This sounds crazy. Perhaps Grunthor...
We're kind of living on crazy at the moment.
If Grunthor was a carrier, and something happened with the contact of the crystals that purged this from his body, that may be the answer to a cure.
Well, we need to, we have a lot to worry about, but you have 2 healers with you and another person who knows a great deal about research. I think if we spend just a day looking into it, we can get the semblance of something. But unfortunately, I don't think we can spare any more than that.
Let me...
Do you need more blood? And I'll take out my dagger and point it at my wrist.
More samples could never hurt, but I would also be interested in getting some from you, Nozak.
Sure.
Because what you said is intriguing.
I point my dagger at Nozak.
Hold it to his throat.
It looks like a fucking longsword to me. I'm like, you put that bitch away.
Let me ask. The people in Cornelia, what is the status there? What? I know that Cornelia, for the most part, is isolated as it is, but what are the odds of this spreading beyond the group that's there now?
They're all in one place, so
Yeah.
within pretty close quarters.
Okay, but I mean...
But they were recently just under siege by water creatures.
But if we remember as well, traveling from Cornelia to the other one that burnt to the ground that we didn't have anything to do with, by the way, that wasn't us. But like between that was like...
Just kind of looks at you weird, like weird that you had to specify that it wasn't you. Hold on. Yeah, he don't believe that.
Wasn't us, I promise. This time it wasn't. This is where that one wasn't us, I promise. No, wait, no, by prophecy it probably was because of the wind. Anyway, off track. The only other place that I remember between Cornelia and the town that is totally still there was Zanakin to the south, but Cornelia is pretty isolated, and the people there, I think you said even before that they moved to the wind tunnel. The wind tunnel, fuck me. The wind temple.
And Xanarkin's a wasteland. Okay. This conversation does not leave this group. If word gets back to my father, our father, that there's another outbreak, he will move to contain it. And I think we all know what that means.
Really quick. Okay. That's when Izzy will look at him and is like, you also need to protect yourself. Is there any... I believe there are spells to encrypt your mind, but they're pretty advanced. Do you think you can pull it off, or is that something that you need to work on?
He just reaches up and kind of brushes a little bit of hair away from his face and just gives you a little bit of a wink as you your attention kind of draws to a ring he has on his finger. Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, right. There are items for that. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Who needs spells when you have items?
This is a good one.
Nice. That's a 17.
Yeah. You're pretty sure that this is exactly what you think it is. A ring of mind shielding. I
Go off, King.
think we're fine.
And if that's the case,
It's pretty standard practice to keep people close to the Archmage protected from things like that.
Okay. Then if that's the case, I have a lot of work to do tonight, and we have a lot of planning. But before Grunther can go with you, we're going to need to plan a bit, if that's all right, just in case something happens.
Of course.
We're not sure what'll happen in that maybe couple of hours that you two are gone, and I just want to be prepared just in case.
Very well. Okay. Should we convene with the others, or?
Oh, it's been 2 hours already. Yes, we should.
Time's a little wibbly wobbly. You would have a little bit of time. If there's anything you think you wanted to squeeze in for like an hour or something, we could do that. A short rest, of course. Anything like that? Anything you wanted to get done while you're waiting? Or have any more questions for Hikael?
I know I had one, but I've forgotten at this time.
You gotta write this stuff down.
If we can just, it's been 2 weeks, okay?
Oh, trust me, I know. I was at work today and I was like, oh wait, I have Kupo quest tonight. I should recap. So.
No, I can't remember off the top of my head at the moment. If I remember, I'll probably just be like, can I have 5? No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Nozak's just kind of thinking a lot.
Okay.
Okay, real quick. Just because I'm paranoid, if you wouldn't mind entertaining this, with the thing I told you about your father and Izzy, if you ever send word for us or ever send someone for us, please don't use our real names. Use the codename Windrunner.
Very well.
That's badass.
That makes sense.
That's so sick.
But that is pretty cool, actually.
Thank you. I didn't come up with it. A 10-year-old did.
Well,
kids, they'll come up with good ideas.
You know, kids do sometimes come up with the best names for things.
They do.
Such great imaginations. Windrunner. Okay. I think that's for the best. The less our father knows about our involvement with one another, the best for everyone involved.
Exactly.
We should probably head out now.
Okay.
Yeah. As we start walking, I'm gonna pull on Ava's thing and just be like, if it makes you feel any better, Luca used to call me Tinky because he couldn't say the word engineer.
That's pretty cute.
That is cute. Imagine what he calls you now.
Bitch. Fuck.
Man,
asshole.
Y'all need to get back to
man.
him. That's been my favorite NPC to play. I need to just bring him in randomly. Like, hey, I've decided to show up.
And as soon as he comes back, Nozak dies, so he's mine.
No, he's my character. You can't have him back. Okay.
My child is the kidnapped. Fuck.
Oh shit! I just realized I have a +5 when I attack with my dagger. Sorry, I just saw that.
You should only be attacking with your dagger from now on. That should be all you do.
I'm not doing that. That's gonna be in case of emergency.
So.
When the wizard's using the dagger, that's an oh fuck moment.
Yeah. It was getting pretty close in that last dungeon, though, I think. People were running out of spells.
It sure was.
Okay.
They were running out of spells. Your boy was fine.
Yeah, that flamethrower thing, that's all you really need. So. The couple, the hours pass. The 1 or 2 hours. And Squall actually ends up coming back a little bit sooner than the 2 hours, with both Renoa and Sid in tow. And, he kind of gathers everybody up. You meet in his office, right? But he says, follow me. We have a more secure location. He kind of leads you a little bit deeper into the bowels of the White House here. And there's this room with a very large red door. Along the door, you see there are various magical runes, and both him and Renoa go up in separate, right next to each other, and there are like on either side of the door there are small little runes carved into the stone themselves. Both of them have to put their hands on it, and once those are on, it kind of dissipates the runes that are on the door, and you hear a as the door starts to slide open. This is the most secure location we could talk. It's warded. There's no scrying, soundproof. Nothing that's said in this room will leave this room. And
really quick.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Is Angelo here as well?
Of course, the dog's there. Yeah.
What type of dog is Angelo? Because I keep forgetting.
Yeah. Let me hold on.
Saint Bernard, I think
It wasn't.
Because I always thought he was a lassie dog.
It is kind of like a lassie dog, and it's a
I don't know what the
girl.
breed
Just
is.
so everybody knows.
Lassie
Oh,
is
good for
actually
her.
a collie, not a Saint Bernard.
Yeah, it's not a saint.
Oh.
Let's see.
So
This
it's
is
Lassie.
Final Fantasy trivia time. All right. Dog's full name is Sant'Angelo de Roma.
That is so
That's
cute.
sick.
And apparently loves white chocolate. Can dogs have white
Oh.
chocolate?
I guess they
It's a
can.
video game.
I'm about to say,
guess.
to be fair, most American chocolate isn't real chocolate anyway. So
That's fair. I'm not seeing it right off the bat here. Blah, 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 blah. Man, here's what I'll do. I'll look it up for everybody. But I do think they look kind of like Lassie myself. So
okay, it's like a mixed breed, but it's definitely somewhat a Lassie dog. It looks like a Lassie dog mixed with like a Labradoodle or something.
yeah,
But it's definitely a medium-sized dog.
It's
so I feel
definitely a
stupid for
medium.
saying-
Yeah,
Yeah, so I feel stupid for saying that Izzy picked her up at one point.
you shouldn't because again, more Final Fantasy trivia. One of Renoa's limit breaks is she holds her arm out and the dog jumps in her arm and she literally launches it off like a cannon.
Yes, in Blue Cannon, love that.
So don't worry about it, okay? Logic with this
Okay.
dog doesn't exist, okay? The dog just does what the dog needs to do, okay?
The dog does
Yeah.
dog things.
Basically, I only asked that because once they sit down, Izzy is going to pull the dog into his lap.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, it is a bigger dog, but it's definitely a lap dog at heart. So there's no problem with that. The doors kind of close slowly, and once they click, you hear a and Izzy, you in particular feel the magic kind of radiating in this room. Give me a quick Arcana check.
Yeah, I guess. What's it? Oh wait, do I?
While,
Okay. Cool.
while he's rolling, I just read a wiki.
Nice.
Angelo resembles
22.
an Australian Shepherd.
There you go.
I thought so.
Australian Shepherd.
Oh my God, y'all are cousins.
22. After a minute, you realize that what's radiating and what you're feeling, this odd tingling sensation, isn't magic permeating this room. It is the complete and utter devoid of magic.
Mm.
With
Okay,
a
cool.
22, you think this room likely is covered in some kind of anti-magic shell. Field.
Okay, that's badass.
Cool.
So Squall takes a seat at the head of the table, and then at the other head of the table, Renoa takes a seat because they're president and vice president, so they get those seats. It's a nice, long, rectangular table, more than enough seats on either side for everybody. As he just sits down, please have a seat. I think we have much to discuss. Like I said, no magic in or out of this room. Nobody will know what we're talking about, so we can speak freely. And if anything sensitive does get out, we will know it was someone in this room.
Mm.
So, to start, could someone apprise me of the situation of what happened in the Sunken Temple? with Leviathan,
Mm.
with the Betrayer?
Well-
You want the good news or the bad news?
Oh, fuck. Whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
good news. We sorted it out. We saved the water crystal from the betrayer. It was Kraken was the person that was handling that, and they had like all these tentacles wrapped around the crystal and was sapping the power and etc. The bad news. I mean, we saved the crystal. We
Ugh, thank God. I thought you were going to tell me it was gone.
No, it's still there. Technically. I mean, there's a water crystal, kind of just sitting on the ground. Long story short, it's not here anymore. It's not functional. But we've spoken to Leviathan.
And
you spoke
unfortunately,
to...
yes, we spoke to him. More good news, bad news situation. The good news is we know whether your plan with the mini icons will work. It won't. We were warned that it will not work. But the bad news is the other crystals are even weaker, and we're going to have to do the exact same thing if we want to even functionally save the icons or their power. Also, I know where the mother crystal is.
Well, that's some good news. Can we go back to the icon thing? The Project Guardian Force, that won't work. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. What we were told was that, unfortunately, they'll be difficult to control.
If you're able to control them at all.
Shit.
Yes. So, if you guys still want to give it a try, you both are leaders. I can't really tell you what to do. I just wouldn't recommend it until you're at least 80% sure it'll work.
That Renoa says we can't put people in danger just for this. And Squall kind of just rubs his head frustrated. I know, but we don't have any... It's only a matter of time before the Empire marches this way. We have no other defense.
Actually, I was going to ask you, you all have been looking for some very science-y ways to deal with this problem. When you have a world-class engineer at your side, wouldn't it be possible for Sid to just make something that stops their Magitech from working?
Well, he's trying. The only problem is he developed a bunch of their Magitech himself. So now, for lack of a better word, he's kind of fucked himself over by making his previous inventions too good. The rest of their artillery...
in the room?
Yes, it is in the room, by the way. And by the way, he took that as a complete compliment. He's just sitting there like...
Yeah.
The other problem is they had not one, but two Loperates working on their military for hundreds of years. So while it's possible, I just don't think that the work of one can just... It's a timing issue. Could he? Absolutely. In time? I don't know.
You have two Loperates here. I'm sure knows I can figure it out with Sid.
It would still take time, though. Like,
yeah,
it wouldn't be a simple thing of just building an anti-magic or a kill switch of some sort. And I mean, I'm gonna look over at Sid and just be like, and even if we did work together on something, Sid and I worked in two very different fields of engineering and creation in the Empire. Like, we weren't exactly, on good standings before, and even now after. Like, but there's still that kind of tension, mainly from me, just because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. And he's just gonna kind of like look around the table and just kind of go a little bit quiet. I honestly don't know if I could even do anything anymore. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do things. Everything that I've touched or created has...
Stop the fucking pity party. Sid kind of pops up. He goes, we both know. Just get over yourself. We both know what you've done. We both know what you're capable of doing. Stop moping around. This isn't the time for that.
Go off,
Like-
King.
Blake is just gonna kind of rub Nozak's back. I don't know if she's sitting on the table or if it's just a little hand.
Oh, Nozak's sitting on the table. He's too short.
Oh.
He can't see in the chairs.
Sid has a little
Yeah,
booster.
Yeah.
It's just she's just this little hand just comes up from this side of the table and just does the supportive back rub.
Mm.
Like, it's easy when you weren't the one that created everything that's taken millions of lives. Like, I'm no better than, the twins' dad when it comes to bloodshed and war and hatred, but it's not as simple as just saying that we could make something new. We could, as Squall said, with time, one, even both of us, could create something, sure. The thing is, time, effort, resources, which is something that we don't have because they don't have 2 Loperates, they have 1. Because I'm kind of stuck with the party. We've got shit to do. I can't stay behind and let you guys do everything else.
All right, shit. We're too close to the nuclear option here. I really thought that we could do this without involving them. We may have another option. He kind of looks around, and even Squall kind of seems confused about what Sid's talking about here. It won't be easy, but there are some other Loperates here. And I know where they are. And they're pretty reclusive, let's say. But with the right persuasion, we may be able to get them to help us. Maybe.
Wait, they're in Fantasia?
Yes.
That's okay.
Oh.
Forward of persuasion. I'm kidding.
Squall at this point says, "Wait, where? How many?" And then so Sid kind of just 6 or 7,000.
What?
6 or 7,000 other Loperates, other people.
Yeah.
Are there rabbits?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're all just in one area.
Yeah, one city.
Where is this city?
See, that's the thing. I'm not really supposed to say. And, they've been pretty strict about who they let know the location of their city, which is why no one does. So I don't know if I necessarily should tell you exactly where it is at the moment, but it's an option that we could approach them with a very, very small delegation. I would be more than willing to go. I think I would probably have to go to get them to even entertain this option. Now, as you may guess, they've decided to take a stance of neutrality for the last couple hundred years. So it could be hard, but depending on how we can convince them what the Empire's doing is potentially bad for the whole of the planet, we might be able to bring them and their technology in.
Who else do you think should go with you? Will you just make a small party of delegates here?
Well, it depends on how we want to do this. Nozak, you would be, of course, welcome to attend if you wanted to. I think we need to keep it on... I don't know if I'd be comfortable taking anyone outside of this room, to be honest with you, because they're going to be pretty fucking pissed when I show up with people.
Well then,
It's gonna be better
if Nozak wants to go, then we definitely can't let him go alone.
It's just an option. They established their own little city here a couple hundred years ago, and it's been magically and scientifically cloaked.
That makes sense.
The best part of all this? I told Psychic that before we ever started this game. I'm pretty sure he forgot.
I hate it here.
Did you remember that?
I knew.
Did you remember that? Okay.
Yeah.
Because when he first told me what he was rolling, I was like, okay, well, you would have one additional piece of information. So I wasn't sure if you forgot or not, but...
No, I knew that it was there, but Nozak wouldn't,
You do not.
because they've been around, as Sid just said, for like a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
Which means Nozak is now having an existential crisis of
Yes.
he's been down here for 1,000, and they've been around and made a whole city and everything in a couple hundred years, and no one ever said to him he thought he was the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy is not in a good space.
So all
Well,
I'm
what do
saying is
you-
they're going to be really fucking pissed when I show up with people. They're going to be pretty fucking pissed that we're asking them to reveal themselves. So it's going to be a hard sell. But it's an option. And I don't know what else. If this Guardian Force thing really ain't going to work, I really don't know what else we can do.
There is a small chance the Guardian Force will work. Izzy didn't say that it 100% wouldn't. He just said it's
Like-
very likely that it wouldn't work.
Like,
But-
it's just shaking her head.
Like, at the end of the day, the Guardian Force and using that power now is taking away from the crystals, which isn't making it any better. That just gives us an even tighter time crunch to have to get to the next one and, you know, make a deal with a god again. But
Getting quite proficient
Nozak's
at that,
kind
huh?
of... Look, when I said we're running on crazy, I wasn't lying. And I'm going to look over at Hikael.
Just kind of solemnly looks back at you. Gives you like a... I see what you mean.
I think right now, at this moment, is the best chance that we have to try and knock out a few things at once. Which is not going to be ideal, because that means we'll be splitting up for a little bit, but the end goal might have to be that. I mean, Grunthor, you and Hikael have things that you guys need to sort out there. Ava, you need to worry about Cornelia and your informants in Morrow. Izzy, you're working with Grunthor as well to try and get Sarah and the kids and everybody here. Like, if anything, if it's going to be a small group to just try this as a last resort, I honestly think that Blake and I might be the only ones that would go. And I think that just kind of comes down to the uniqueness of Blake's gift, and with
Is
all due
that
respect,
Is that an emphasis on small, sir?
I am shorter than you. Shut up.
I mean, like, look, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a place with a bunch of fucking rabbits, so the dwellings are smaller, but I mean, you don't have to be below a certain height to go to this damn place. I mean, come on,
roller coaster.
Nozak.
I'm gonna be honest. If anyone could persuade them best, I think it would also be Blake and Nozak.
As a last resort.
Obviously,
At this point,
but we can.
Squall then just kind of
God.
pops in. And then what of the other crystals? I mean, we seem to have a lot of irons in the fire, so to speak, but what of the crystals? What's the timeline there? How long do we have?
We don't know.
Not a lot, I would assume. If they're even weaker than Leviathan was, then we need to move as quickly as possible. Which is why we need to outsource our resources. We need to outstretch our resources to get certain things done. So, Hikael, you need to take a trip with Grunthor. Like I said, we can only part with him for about a day. How much help do you think you need to find a cure for the snakepox?
That all depends on exactly what we get from these tests. And I don't know. I don't know.
Needs to take blood from me as well.
Wonderful. While you have him talk, I'll take blood samples from Nozak, and me and Blake together will look to see if there's anything of note about it, and you can do the rest since you have the notes.
Okay.
Ava, I need you to really take this time to think about how much you're willing to take on when it comes to this, because we're not sure what the Mother Crystal will ask of you when we meet them.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about what the Mother Crystal might want. Holy shit. Oh, fuck.
I mean, you kind of just been collecting icons like Pokemon at this stage. Like,
Yeah.
2 more after this, and y'all got a full team.
President and Vice President, would it be possible for you to get someone to travel to go collect our friends in Alexandria? I was hoping we would have magical assistance, but we need all the help we can get, and we can't afford to be picky in this moment.
I think we can arrange for that. We have people that are adept at sneaking in and out of Empire territory, so we should be able to sneak past their guards, as long as they haven't made any kind of military advancement towards Alexandria, which we have not received word of yet, so that's good. As long as they haven't done that, we should be able to get there and back. I don't see that being
Wonderful.
an issue.
We can send them a message. The only problem is...
how many people are we talking?
How many people do we have? Hold on, we have 2 kids.
Sarah,
a
Nelly,
sick adult.
Luca. Oh yeah, Morrow and that. But are we getting them to stop in at Cornelia to get everybody, or are they just going straight to
Now,
Alexandria?
remember, Alexandria's up here, Cornelia's way over here. So those are 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
If
just
it's
need to
possible,
focus.
Yeah.
Queen Sarah is my biggest concern, only because if she's taken off of the political chessboard, everyone's fucked.
Yeah, basically.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I will go on a rampage.
Yeah, well, there's
yeah,
that.
I'm about to say. Yeah, Hikael, I'm gonna be honest, is our only main. I'm gonna say in this moment is the only person who could deal with any problems in Cornelia having to do with the sickness. We can worry about the people and clearing out any fish folk, I would say, either before we even start with the crystals or after we finish one. And I think that is, either way, we only have very small windows for those. So we can talk about that later. But that's how Izzy would suggest we separate them. If anyone in character has any critiques, please feel free to correct him.
Yeah, who's your all's DM? I feel like there's just been a lot of shit just dumped on you here in the last little bit. Dude's a jerk.
DM's kind of a dick.
Decisions.
I can tell, like, he spent a really long time just planning this whole session. Like, just to be like, what is the most information I could possibly give my players in, like, a 2-hour sitting? Like, I want them to feel like they're back in school and they're, like, just cramming for an exam. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, I hope you're taking notes, because this will be on the final. If you forget anything, half the world might die.
No pressure.
No pressure.
That sounded
no pressure.
like me and math.
I mean, are we splitting up to get all the Infinity Stones to reverse the snap?
No. We're only splitting up today. And then we're gonna get back to work tomorrow. My only question then, and this is above board. My only question is, when do you guys see the proper time frame to go speak to the Loporets then? because we have very short windows for both.
Yeah,
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys want to speak to the Loporettes before we start a single thing?
Ava does.
Okay, so I'm not sure how long it'll take to Loporettes, but I think getting the Loporettes and making sure we get Queen Sarah, I think those two things can coincide with each other at the same time. Unfortunately, that does push back the whole crystal thing.
And we kind of need the crystals.
Yeah. Listen, hard decisions.
We are
Okay.
splitting the party.
Would we be able... Hikael,
Yeah.
would, after the test with Grunthor, would you be able to... You can do more... Sorry, Izzy. You can do more, like, advanced magic shit. Obviously.
I mean,
Explicitly, like, sorry, Izzy. But, like, you can teleport around and stuff.
not on my own.
But you've got the network with
Yes.
Mysidia. Almost as a way to kind of cut down time. After the test with Grunthor and everything done, would you be able to help us to get Sarah, the kids, and Jane? That's 4 people.
I have.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
just had a good idea, but I'm going to let him talk first.
Y'all are forgetting about Biggs and Wedge too. Just gonna leave them behind, I guess. Poor Biggs and Wedge.
I mean,
Trust me,
they want to go on vacation, don't they? Didn't they want to get paid and go on their vacation?
I'm about to say, they're literally
Their
game
honeymoon.
bounty hunters. They will be fine.
They were going on their
I can assure
honeymoon.
you, they're fine.
So, yes, that's technically possible. I just feel the need to remind you that you're not exactly welcome in Mysidia, and every time we use the teleportation network, it increases the chances of our father finding out about it.
We're not welcome. Nothing has been said about Sarah, Jane, Biggs and Wedge, the kids. This is only
Sure.
theoretically speaking. I'm not poking holes. I'm not trying to sound like a dick. Theoretically speaking, we're
I
not
understand. That's true.
allowed. You need Grunthor.
But one thing
And I know
to,
Grunthor wants to get to Sarah.
one thing to also keep in mind, much like the Loporettes, Mysidia has prided itself on its neutrality and not getting involved in the politics of the world below. The kids, I could easily bring. Queen Sarah might be another matter, especially if our father found out. That could... I mean, I'm not saying I won't do it. I'm not saying no. But I'm saying there is an inherent risk to bringing a head of state into Mysidia without my father knowing. Politically, we could petition. She could petition for sanctuary. That could work. But it's a risk. It's a gamble. And... Or we could successfully sneak her through. But
That's the case.
we don't know how that's going to play out.
While these two go find these three, sorry, Sid, I forget that you have to go as well. While these 3 go get the Loporettes, you simply you can, I was going to say teleport with us, but I guess he could just sending stone them. We will go to Alexandria. We can send you a message to come get the children, and we can just bring Queen Sarah back. It seems like all of that will take some time regardless.
Yeah, I mean, the trip out to the Loporettes, it's not going to be just a day trip.
Exactly. And going to Alexandria by foot will also take a while.
I mean...
Well...
Could we even... this is annoying. Do you know if they would be okay with... Sid, how racist are the Loporettes down here?
Racist? We're
Like,
not
if we bring
racist.
another non-Loporette, considering they've been hiding away from the rest of the world.
I wouldn't say
Probably
they're
not
racist.
the term I should have used.
I'd say that they are protective of who they
Sorry.
are. See, it's more that they don't like outsiders at all. Like, they're gonna fucking hate you, especially at first, maybe forever.
They're just from a different time, no, Zach.
They have no inherent biases against the other races. It's just that, oh God, this is gonna sound even worse, I think, actually. The Loperates were a curious bunch, wouldn't you say? Curiosity.
And I did come down here 1,000 years ago out of curiosity.
Yeah, they came down too to kind of observe and study. So it's not that they're racist. It's just they kind of view this as a
project, as a science experiment.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Not only that, if I was in advance of super high-tech engineers, I also wouldn't want the warmongering people above me to find out where I was.
Well, no, that's a good fucking point right there.
Yeah. But...
Oh, jeez. Okay, so it seems like number one priority is getting this test, and also making sure we can get to Queen Sarah, and also fighting the Loperette. Well, obviously that'll start tomorrow because we need to do some testing for today. Is that something as a team we can agree on?
Like, do you want to come? Would you feel comfortable, or would you rather stay behind with Ava and the others?
No, I think I can come. I can't imagine anywhere else. I don't know for any of these, like, where I'd be the most used.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because you've only briefly met Sarah and that when I kind of just kidnapped you. Basically.
Yeah.
I can also in a pinch make sure we're unseen when traveling to territory, and along with maybe some people who are skilled at infiltrating, he gestures to the president and vice president. It'll make our trip a bit easier, maybe even quicker, while we wait for the rest of you.
I'm going to look over at Hekayo and gesture to Blake. You know, her village was involved with the snake pox. Does she need to be tested, or?
We could test her. If she hasn't started showing symptoms yet, based on the timeline I understand, she's probably fine. You know, it's highly contagious, but, you know, sometimes people get lucky. But it's worth testing. Though I would hate to think that she is infected and potentially asymptomatic, because that just increases our potential infection pool by quite a bit.
Blake,
At that, Sid, you see, kind of slowly puts his little rabbit feet up on the table and pushes his chair just a little bit back to put some distance between himself and Blake.
I'm
Blake,
not sick.
Achoo!
I'm not dead yet.
Blake, would you like to go?
Go on a walk. Yeah.
Blake, would you like to go with Yoz, or do you want to help me down here? We have an entire day of just. This is technically side work before we get moving. It's whatever you're most comfortable with.
Sorry, what was the first option?
Basically, do you want to go with Grunthor to test some people who already have it, or do you want to stay down here to test people who might be immune to it?
Either way, you're getting some shots today.
Yeah.
Yay.
I think I should probably go with Grunthor.
Okay, cool. Great. Then I mean, Hikai will have even more knowledge to his disposal. That's good.
Okay.
All right. We're probably going to move out on this plan immediately. Could you gather some of your best forces that you think will be best in leading us through enemy territory, Lord Squall, or Squall?
Yeah, just Squall. Just yes, absolutely. he kind of looks over, and him and Renoa kind of make eye contact. And then she just gives kind of like a little nod. I'll go with you. Renoa can stay and run things here, and I can help with the infiltration to Alexandria. And I know some people, too, I think would be able to help.
Wonderful. Only thing I need is a doctor's office. I need some supplies, and I may also need a couple of extra medical books, if that's okay.
Of course. I can introduce you to Dr. Odin. We can
Wonderful.
Go from there.
No, Zach. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say your fear of needles lies?
A 1.
All right, perfect. Because I may need a steady 3 or 4 samples.
Okay. I mean,
Perfect.
working in a forge and everything, I've stabbed and cut and almost bled out a number of times. Like, I'll be fine.
Now, if you all don't mind, me and my team are also going to need
My team.
maybe.
Izzy's like
maybe
leadership now. Look at this.
Maybe just an hour or 2 to come up with a plan, and then we can have something written out for you, because I know that the whole ordeal with the crystals is important to you all as well. But as it stands,
I think it's important to everyone.
We need, we need some time to play.
Before you do that, can I, you, the tall, elfish, what's your name again? Avar?
Yeah, that's close enough.
You think I could borrow you for a minute? I got something down in the shop I wanted to try out.
All right.
Cool.
Aye.
Fuck yeah. I'll bring him back, though. Just give me like 30 minutes.
No problem. So, I actually have a comprehensive list here of the pros and cons of each crystal in the order, just as the door closes.
Wait, before they... Oh, never mind.
So that's just Sid and Ava that was hopping down. If you had anything for anybody else, they're not leaving just yet.
Blake is gonna ask Squall, when we did anything with the crystal, have you checked on the man in the tank?
I haven't. No. Things have been crazy, and I haven't heard of any changes, but do you think that it would have affected that? It could have. I'm not really 100% sure everything Hojo's doing to try to revive him, but I'll look in on him. I trust your instincts. I'll check it out.
And if you look here, this is an example of a little logo that I feel like would look better on Ava's hand. This is just an example of what I think it would look like once he gets the earth crystal followed by the fire and the fire followed by the earth.
As he waves his hand and his familiar whiteboard appears.
Yeah.
This is above cat shit, and I have played too many video games to forget about a fucking boss wolf. There's a goddamn nuke under the city, and I haven't forgotten.
All I'm going to say is my theory has always been either Sephiroth's going to be an enemy in the next campaign we play in this world, or he's going to be a side boss we have to deal with.
Honestly,
I don't trust it.
I can't.
Or I threw it in just so y'all wouldn't trust it, and it's nothing.
I still enjoy going back and watching that one part of the episode, because you can see myself, Blake, and I think it was Izzy or Ava. As soon as you mentioned Silverhair, the three of us were all like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah, everybody who knew who Sephiroth was were like, "What are you doing? Why?"
Not about that.
Everybody's just like, "Nope."
I think I made a joke about Izzy in character saying he looks like the type to chase blonde twins.
You did. You did.
Anyways, Ava's talking to a rabbit person.
Okay. Anything else anyone wants to say in the room? And then I'll cut to Ava and Sid.
Not at the moment, I don't
And then
think. I think Nozak's kind of just having a moment to himself.
Okay, and then quick, just clarification for me, Grunthor and Blake. When's the plan for you all to head back to Mysidia with?
Whenever Hekael's ready, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Izzy,
And I am taking Duchess with.
Oh yeah, I assume Duchess goes with you wherever you go. Izzy, according to your timeline and your whiteboard, were you thinking they would go like this afternoon and try to come back?
I assume
what was
they were
your
going
idea?
to leave immediately and come back tomorrow so that we can start on the other bullshit we have to do.
Okay.
And so that I mostly care about Hikael getting back to Mysidia without being noticed. So I don't want him staying here for too long, and I only want him to come to us when we need him to come get the kids, basically.
Okay. So if that's the case, Hikael could right now, as they're leaving, take the two of you and start heading back towards
Nope,
Mysidia
we have
too.
to plan.
Okay. So
But we also need blood from Nozak.
okay, perfect. So we'll wait on that for just a second. So we'll cut really quick to Sid and Ava. So he's just kind of bouncing along as the little operatives walk and just kind of making small talk like, so where you from?
Fuck. I'm so bad. I never remember where Ava's from. I tell him where I'm from, even though Fishy Bugs doesn't remember.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. I never actually been there myself. I've spent most of my time. You know what? Spent most of my time in the Empire and then here, just making shit, keeping to myself.
I like Balamb.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice beachy town. You know, got some nice seafood. That's for fucking sure.
Are
By
there
the
any
way-
criminals here?
Yeah, of course, there's criminals here. He lights a cigarette.
I was
Hey,
back in the
you
sec,
want one?
sorry.
Oh no,
Smoke?
I'm good, thank
All right.
you. No.
Yeah, there's criminals everywhere. But,
All right, good.
you know, they don't get away with too much, kind of militaristic town, you know. But
Yeah, that's why I was a little curious.
the ones that do, they're good. And the ones that are really good end up working for Squall. You probably meet some of them at the Alexandria mission, to be honest. Anyway, I hate fucking small talk. Well, just follow me. And then he just
Yeah, that
kind
sounds
of
great.
continues on. It takes you back to his workshop, which is located very, very close to the docks. At this point, though, you were kind of expecting maybe to go down into Garden, but that's not where he's taking you. He's taking you towards the docks, but it's kind of towards the northeast side. There's this really large building that he's got there. And again, there's a very similar rune structure to the door here. Not quite as intricate and with all the multi-point locks that the secret room that you had your meeting on was, but it's definitely a room that's designed to only let him in. So as he kind of goes up to it, there's another little rune, for his hand, smaller on, further down close to the wall or close to the floor. And he goes, so I got to thinking after y'all left, right? So he kind of puts his hand on it. You went to the wind crystal, right?
Yes.
And then something happened with Garuda and she kind of something like that. You all right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, okay. So it got me thinking, you're possibly the only source of wind crystal energy in the whole fucking world. Right?
Right.
At this point, the doors start to open up. So it got me thinking, if you were like a wind battery or something like that, if you could channel that into a particular machine, as the doors kind of open up, you see it's one giant room with nothing else in it. It's completely open, except for sitting in the middle is a very large, new-looking airship. Got me thinking.
I was waiting.
We
for it.
use wind crystal energy. That's why the airships aren't working anymore. But if I could retrofit one with the same kind of technology I was using on the boats that was harnessing, water crystal energy, maybe you could fucking fly this thing. Didn't want to get people's hopes up until we gave it a shot. What do you think?
You Sid, are a smart man. How do I do this?
I'll show you. So he goes in and kind of turns around, and on the other side there's another room. He puts his hand against it, and the doors just close back until it's just poof, and you're in pitch darkness. He's like, "Oh fuck! I always forget this." You hear him like slapping around until eventually he finds another room, and these just magical candles just kind of light around the entirety of the room, casting a nice little glow in the room that just illuminates this beautiful airship. More than big enough for your party. You'll notice that there are no, you're used to seeing like sails and things on them still that kind of help to harness the wind. There's none of that. It almost just looks like a big boat with nothing else. Looks like a big boat, but you can tell it's an airship because it does still have like the wings out to the side. So he says, "Come here." So here's what I got. When you get up onto it, he has a very similar structure to what you saw on the ship that you were just on. There's kind of like an orb in the center that's on this raised pedestal. You can tell that it was recently added because the wood is a slightly different color. As it's been stained more recently, it just looks a little different. So this is a conduit that's supposed to, harness the energy. Normally, we put a small one of these in the sails, right? And then as you're sailing, the wind's blowing, and it kind of absorbs the wind energy, channels that back. You don't fucking care. But here's what this will do. If you can actually, channel it into this, it should be enough to power this thing, get it to lift off the ground. Now, one downside, you'd have to be the one to fly it, but it could work.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, how hard can flying an airship be? It can't be that hard.
That's pretty fucking simple.
Yeah.
Lift, drag. You got this.
Yeah, right. All
Understanding aerospace.
So you want me to try and fly this thing right now?
I didn't bring you down here to just fucking look at it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right, yeah, sure, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's all give it a shot.
Well, right now we're just going to try to see if it powers the thing. We're still closed in the room. Don't break through the fucking ceiling or anything like that.
Right, of course. Yeah, no, just lights, tippy taps on the controls.
All right, so here's what you do.
Thank you, DM, for answering our prayers.
Here's what you do, all right? Mm-hmm. Come here.
Oh, yeah, right, yep. Mm-hmm.
Just hold on to it, and then do whatever you got to do to channel your energy. You're the mystic person. I don't know.
Right.
Just fly it. Okay. Do you touch it? So there's like a big orb. Do you touch that?
Yes.
Okay. As you put your fingers slowly towards it, you feel like this almost static electricity as you get close to it. Have you ever touched one of those like balls that they have, those electricity balls, like when you touch them? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. And the conduits come up at your fingertips?
Exactly that. As you do it, you can see something swirling around inside it. And as you touch it, there's a moment to where your hands almost grasp onto it and you feel like you can't let go. But then that passes quickly. And as you look at it, what was once just a nice, clear, almost crystal-looking ball starts to take on this green energy. And there's a swirl within it that starts to faster and faster until you feel a slight breeze. The palm that has the emblem begins to warm. Not painfully, not uncomfortably, but obviously warmer than the other hand. As you can feel a quick shudder as... What are you thinking?
What am I thinking?
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I am thinking that I want to try and make this thing move without crashing it.
Okay. Up, left. What are you trying to do? Like move it forward? Just lift it up?
Oh, yeah, just like forward and back a little bit. Just kind of like rock it a little bit.
As you think that, the ship starts to just slowly back and forth. Hot fucking damn! I knew it would work because I fucking built it. But it's cool to see it work. Oh, holy shit! This is great. Whoo!
Wow.
That's one thing the Empire don't got no more. Fuckers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, fuck them.
Now, try to lift it up. Now, again, not too high. It's not. We don't have a lot of room.
Right,
but
yeah,
just
because there's a ceiling here, right? Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'll lift it. I'll slowly think about lifting it up.
Yeah. So as you kind of just think, it almost responds to your just commands that you think, because it's the energy you're channeling into it. So just the subtle thoughts of those commands kind of just very subtly shift the way that the energy is leaving you into the conduit. And as you concentrate, it just slowly starts to rise. It is surprisingly easy. As easy as it seemed like they were having with the boat. Because you remember them driving it, they did seem to have no problem. It seemed like it was a very simple contraption. As it kind of lifts up, Sid's like, "Oh, damn! Oh, man, I'm a fucking genius. This is great."
You are a genius.
Now, I do think this will help with our problems a little bit. I didn't want to get their hopes up until we had a chance to try it, but this could help. It could definitely cut down on some of the travel time.
Oh, absolutely.
Would recommend probably not trying to fly it to Alexandria. I'll just say that because we don't want to fly this over Imperial space necessarily unless we have a plan or some bombs. Bombs.
Well, maybe we talk to Squall about that one before we kind of just start bombing the Empire.
Does Squall know about the airship?
You're not there.
It's not.
No, I was asking above table.
You don't know?
Damn you,
No
Wolf, I'm
idea.
crying.
I'm going to table that bomb thing, though.
Yeah, that might be a fun idea.
Yeah. Anyway.
I just nearly spat my drink out, Ava.
This is... I don't do gifts necessarily, but consider you a beta tester for my new line of airship. It's on loan.
I'll take that. Help you
It's
be
on
the
loan.
tester. Right.
I'll probably,
yeah.
I'll need it, so don't crash it.
No, it's easy to fly. You were right. Yeah, I won't crash
I
it.
told you it was easy.
Yeah, no, you sure did.
I mean, the fundamental, aerodynamics of how an airship works are very, very simple.
Well, yeah, but like you see all these like things, and like you just move your hands and you think like it sounds so complicated to your average idiot.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's always just kind of clicked, but I don't know. Some people are stupid, I guess.
Yeah,
That's one
I'm
of those,
definitely not one of those people.
Wait, I think that's one of those rude things Renoa told me to stop saying. Fuck it, she's not here.
Yeah, true that.
All right, well, successful test. You can play around if you want, but I think we should go tell them.
Probably get back to the meeting. Yeah, we should. This is huge news.
Well, I'm glad you like it. And I'm glad it worked.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
No problem. You got to go save the world now and all that shit, right? You know that.
Yeah.
That's kind of part of the unspoken contract here is you got to stop the fucking world from blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the Empire and by the everything. Okay.
Wait a minute. He's kind of just starts thinking. So far you've got a wind and a water, right?
Oh fuck yes.
Wonder what I could do if you had all four.
Yeah, man. If I had all four, that Guardian project might go without a hinge.
If we could harness all four of these, I might be able to get this bastard to space.
Space.
The final frontier.
Oh, my mind immediately went to space.
Been a while since I've been back home.
Sounds like a lot of home is down here.
That's nothing compared to what's up there. Nothing.
Oh.
You should see the shit they got up there. Makes this look like a fucking wagon.
Wow, really?
Why'd I lie about that?
I don't know. Some people just like to lie.
Not Nozak.
What does he like to lie?
Can't trust him. Shifty bastard. I don't know. I don't really know the guy. I just like shitting on him.
Oh, all right, that's fair.
He's probably fine.
All right.
Let's go tell the others. He kind of hops down and just starts like running away from you, super excited with his successful test. What are you doing?
I just had the thought they walk in the door. But Izzy, if we go that way, then why have you got this in the other circle? I don't understand.
Ava will just follow Sid out.
Okay. They're gone for probably 40 minutes before they both come back, and Sid is just like super beaming from ear to ear, like super over the moon happy, still smoking his cigarette. He comes in, Renoa just says, Sid, we've talked about this. You can't be doing that inside. It makes the whole place smell just icky. You have to stop. He's like, oh, yeah. Sorry. He kind of walks over, and he just puts it out against your gauntlets, Nozak.
Before I was so rudely interrupted,
know you were in
con number 60 to plan B.
I just wanted to break the news. If it helps, we do have a functional airship now. So there's that. If you want to factor that back into...
You just see a big sigh as you see he waves his hand and all of the marker is just taken off of the board. So, about this airship.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention it before I had a chance to test it, but I did think of a way to take our good friend, and he kind of reaches out and just smacks you on the back of your calf because he can't reach your back. Our good friend, Conduit Battery Man over here, and use him basically as a, power source.
Oh,
So yeah, he has to drive the thing, but should be good to go.
Yeah. Holy shit, you have a functioning one.
We have,
Fuck,
again, one functioning one. One.
That's
So
more
if
than the Empire.
this
They're
one
still trying to work
crashes...
Steam.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Fucking Neanderthals.
I'm assuming flying over Empire territory with it wouldn't be a good idea, correct?
Well, now, actually, we were talking about that, and I think it could be a good idea, but what we need, and this was all Ava's idea, bombs.
Okay, well, hold on. Wait,
no, thank you.
I'm just saying, don't rule it out.
When he said, he puts his head, he's like, could you counterfeit anyone's energy to your ship?
Now, this is...
Counterfeit, that's not the right word. Whatever.
Like a tune?
A tune, yes.
This specifically is not really for his energy. I mean, no offense, but he's got about as much energy as a stack of, bricks. It's more of the fact that he's harnessing a damn icon in his fucking blood or something.
Oh,
he's basically...
I didn't know it was in your blood.
I don't know where it... I haven't tested him. I don't know where it is. But basically, we're plugging this thing directly into the wind crystal, for lack of a better word. It's the only way it's going to keep in the air. Now, again, warning. If something happens, Ava takes an arrow right through the eyes, you're probably going to fall from the sky. That'd be
So I have
really...
to keep all hands. I have to keep my hands. So let's say we get attacked or something while we're on the airship. If I take my hands off, we start plummeting. Yeah.
Well, you can not immediately. It'll hold a charge for a little bit, but it's not going to stay up there forever without you going back to it. I'd say you got 10 minutes at best.
So until you create some sort of cloaking device, which seems like it would take a while,
or bombs.
Like we're walking down. I would prefer the cloaking device, but thank you for your suggestion.
I know, Zach, you like the bomb idea, right?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of into the bomb idea.
Please, no bomb.
That's just something to think
Regardless, it seems like we're walking to Alexandria. I feel like just using it to get to the crystals would be the best use of time.
Is Elfheim The border of Elfheim is Empire territory, yeah?
Elfheim itself. Yeah, hold on. And I will zoom
I
out.
thought it was neutral.
Yeah,
looks like
no,
we can
it's on the edge of it.
Yeah,
Looking on
So
the
it-
map, it looks like we don't have to fly over Empire
Elfheim.
territory.
Elfheim is included in Empire territory. So-
Really?
Yeah, Elfheim is. So you
Yeah.
see how on the map there's like that grayer area? That is all the Empire's domain. So Altair, Canaan, Calm, Lindblom, and Elfheim.
Oh yeah, that was the name of the town that's no longer on the map.
Altair.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
that one.
Wait a second. If we just fly it from Balamb, can't we just go around Empire
can.
territory and just land?
You can, but also keep in mind Rabanastre is not Empire territory, but is Empire.
Allies.
They're their allies, not just friendly. They are their allies. So you would be basically having to cut close to it. It's doable, but just keep that in mind. That it's while that's not strictly owned, it is Rabanastre territory.
And going over the ocean to avoid Rabanastre and then going over Mount Gold to Alexandria, that seems like it was just a needless time wasted.
But it takes so long.
Yeah, so we're basically walking to Alexandria.
Well, Mysidia does have the teleportation to Alexandria, so that's.
I mean, do you guys want to sneak through and say just fuck my dad?
Well, I mean, if we were going directly, wouldn't that be easy? Because we would be teleported back to the teleportation chamber, then we all just go straight to Alexandria.
Not only that, I could make it less than a day trip. Sorry, that fuck my dad thing, that was out of character, but I didn't specify. It's fine. If my brother
There's
takes
like
us to
sharpens the sword.
to the teleportation chamber, and then we just go get everyone. Honestly, I could send most of you, if not all, or at least just the children with my brother with my broom, and then the rest of us can just walk with Queen Sarah.
Question, Hikael. The teleportation chamber, whatever you guys call it, is it just a separate room that has all of the teleportation things in it? Or are they spread out the city? Because I just kind of realized that if they're all in one area and you're just coming back and forward, do you have something to monitor where you go? Why can't we just jump in, jump through, and then grab them, jump out, jump to the next one?
Well,
I'm assuming it's not that simple.
It's all one room, and to prevent abuse, they're guards. So we typically would have to charm them or something. We got through before because you had a direct from the Archmage to get the hell out of town. So we would have to be able to sneak past those guards somehow with these groups of people. And again, I can manage to do it easily once or twice. But the more guards keep popping up with missing memories or, realizing they've been charmed at some point, they're going to start to ask questions.
That's fair.
So we have it at our disposal, but limited use in a short amount of time.
Really quick, DM, when I use my broom, I don't teleport to the teleportation room. That would be too convenient. Where did I land last time?
Your room. You went to your room.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And, okay.
Which that no one really goes in and out of when you're not there, so.
Honestly, lit. No, that'd be too much. Okay, I think to save on trouble, it would probably just be easier. Wait, sorry. I can't believe I kept forgetting to ask this. How far is Balamb from Alexandria on foot?
It looks like a trek.
It's going to be a trek. I mean, it's almost the entire continent there. I mean, you're looking at probably at least a week, at least, depending on how this works, maybe 2. I mean, you had a lot of people, but it took you 3 weeks to get from Altair to Lindblom.
Yeah.
I mean, you were moving very slow, but it's more than twice that distance.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to be honest. We might just need to give this mission to Squall. I understand, we want to keep Princess Sarah safe, but I cannot see any feasible options that does not get one of our other spots blown up. Because we need we can't have Hikael being grounded or punished for bringing us through because we need to find a cure for Snakepox. Sarah, we can't even bring her up there or else it'll cause trouble. We could maybe disguise her or sneak her through. But again, we have to worry about the Snakepox. We can't take a week to walk there and back because that would be 2 weeks, and we already have to worry about the crystals. And not only that, we also need to check in on everyone else in Cornelia, maybe. So I'm really thinking we might just need to just have your boy Hikael get everyone else, and then just have all the adults and Sarah travel with some spies.
That's definitely.
Sorry, this is above. Yeah, this is above table, and the only reason I'm saying that is because out of everything, it seems like there's less trouble if we do it that way. However, I also know characters' interests come into account, and I'm not sure how Save Grunthor would feel with that option.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if Grunthor says fuck it, we're sneaking Sarah in, we're just sneaking Sarah in. There's no questions about it.
You want to argue with the tank? No.
Have you seen his AC? Holy shit.
Oh yeah, speaking
Just
of,
take
I
the
need to
airship,
pump that
fuck
up.
I mean, you want to risk taking the airship?
What's the risk? Rabanastre sees us? Oh yeah, they're gonna tell the Empire about an airship.
Who's in charge of Rabanastre? Do we even know? Well, we don't. I'm gonna say that out loud, actually.
Really quick. DM,
yeah.
I'm gonna ask a very telling question, and I need you to answer me.
Okay.
When things are invisible, do they still keep their opaqueness, or can you see through them?
When things are invisible, I usually imagine that you just can't see them at all, so you just see through them. Are you trying to Okay. Are you wanting to see like a
how long?
Shimmering outline?
I think I know where this is going.
So if that's the case, I think a good old-fashioned major image may be the best option in here. Because major image lasts for 10 minutes, and we just need to get out of distance of Rabanastre, and I can just cast it again.
So you're trying to use that as a cloak?
Yeah, essentially. Because if we use invisibility, it's going to look like we're standing on air, and that seems like it'll cause more of an issue than just I don't know.
How big of a space? How big of a space can that cover?
Let's see. It can cover. Oh shit! I read that wrong. Is the ship longer than 20 feet?
Yeah.
Damn it! Well, I tried, guys. It might be invisibility time.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Look, yeah, there's no bad ideas. I love planning. I love planning sessions like this. I really do. There's no bad ideas. There's just ideas that have the potential to blow up in your face more than others.
I'm just saying. My only concern is making sure everyone gets there safely. After that, we can say fuck the Empire, just fly everywhere we want. Honestly, I don't have a problem with that. But getting Queen Sarah into a place that she'll be indefinitely safe is what matters most in this moment.
Definitely.
Sid.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. This is basically running off of the will of the winds of Garuda that Ava can harness, right?
Essentially.
So, if it's going off of his will and the ability that he can put out, did you build this in mind with a max speed? Or did you just kind of have it as a, let's just see what the fuck happens?
Let's just see what happens. You know, if you start pushing it and shit starts flying off, maybe slow down a little bit.
Because I was just thinking then, you said that you could probably do something to hide it, but
now keep in mind, I did this quick. I retrofitted an existing airship. I didn't build a new one from scratch in the day or so you were gone. So it's an existing airship that is now just powered a little differently. So it's not going to be able to be pushed a lot faster than your traditional airships. I didn't invent some kind of fucking light speed travel. Light speed travel.
I think we might be on the same boat with this one. Because I'm just thinking that if it works on your will, and let's be honest, ever since the Wind Crystal kind of carked it, they haven't exactly got anything to work in the sky. And if you're high up enough, I know... Nozak's kind of like doing a little bit of thought process. All you gotta hear is a very light carry the one. Like, I don't think there's anything that, if we fly high enough, I don't think anything can touch us. Because most of the weaponry that the Magitech used when I was building them were still using ammunition. Like, a lot of them weren't using... Like, we weren't quite on the whole laser side of things yet. We were working on it, but we didn't quite reach that part. So, it could also just be fly high enough and we...
Fly high enough with... By the way, DM, Izzy would ask this, how long is the ship?
The ship itself... Oh, let's see. Let me do this really quick before I give you a number.
Please don't let it be 100 feet.
It wasn't going to be that much. It's not that big.
99.
99.9 feet.
Trying to think of like... Oh God, I'm so bad at lengths of things. For now... Fuck it, you get inspiration for that.
I'll 33 sessions without that joke being made.
So, here's what I'm going to say, okay? Let's just call it 80 for now, so it's below what you're wanting to do. And if that turns out to be an unrealistic size for an airship, I will adjust it. But let's just call it that. Okay. Because I'm terrible with making up like distances on the spot.
So,
that's like 24 meters. That's
all right, guys.
Big.
So, I may be able to fuck the game a little bit. So, if you cast Major Image at a high enough level, it stops being concentration, and it has to be dispelled, essentially.
Okay.
God, I can't believe we're gonna retrofit a fucking spell. So.
Okay,
damn,
I got something for you.
Thank you, because
feet?
I don't have a high enough slot for that.
No, not that. 80 feet is just bigger than a tennis court. Not like just the green area, I don't think. I think it's like the whole court.
That seems realistic, right?
Yeah, that
for
seems
the
reasonable.
Like 8-story.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't have a thing for it, but if it's 80 feet long and I can only cover 20 feet, I think that if I could focus enough energy into maintaining a major image under us for about 10 minutes, that may do us some good in at least hiding us a bit if we're high enough. I'm not sure how fast the ship goes, but making a bundle of clouds underneath the ship within a certain distance might do a good job of because my spell can reach about 120 feet below us. I just need to be able to see it.
We also can take the river, like you suggested earlier. It would be further away from Ravenaster. It would take us a little bit longer, but...
DM Wizard Brain, how long would it take to fly there use over the ocean instead?
Over the ocean?
Yeah, past Ravenaster, so we're not seen.
Okay, it also... I have another question, too, just to... I'm not... please don't think I'm dangling things. I'm really not. I'm just pointing things out. If you were to fly around and fly over... You were talking about flying over Mount Gulag? That is where the fire crystal is. So, would you be passing it and coming back to it later, or trying to stop there on the way? What's the plan there?
Get a quick little freebie.
So,
okay, so even though technically, it is more inconvenient, I care a lot more about making sure Sarah is safe at the moment. Yeah. Because again, if the Empire does something and she's taken care of, we're fucked. Because what is Meryl gonna do? I have legitimacy to the throne. We're all fucked if she's taken off the board. So I think even if it
pace.
Yeah. Ooh, bars. No, but I think that I just think getting Queen Sarah right now takes a bit more priority, because the crystals, even though they're getting weaker, we have an airship. We're gonna get there at some point.
And
I
an
think
airship moves faster than a person can walk. Actually,
Yeah.
can I run a quick history check or something to remember if I can, remember how quick they go?
Yeah,
Like, how
sure.
quick did we have fast ones?
Give me an intelligence
you.
check or history. History works.
Thank you, Nozak.
I got you. History. 19.
Oh, thank God.
You're gonna have to convert this because I'm not.
I've
American.
already got miles to kilometers.
You could probably anywhere between 20 to 40 miles per hour.
So let's say a max of 40. Damn, these bitches can move.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck. Yeah, we cut that time travel down for a lot. Okay.
Now, one thing I want to point out. One thing I do need to point
Where's
out.
my calculator?
There are just a couple things you need to know about this thing. You will need a little bit of flat space to land it. So, most of the time that's not going to be an issue. But you are going to have trouble landing it anywhere near pretty much anything in the Norvalen region. That whole fucking region is just covered with trees. It's not going to be able to hover anywhere unless you just leave Ava there for days on end, just standing there holding it, keeping it aloft.
Actually, we... I may have an idea that's a little crazy, but hear me out. We don't need more than at least 2 people to go get Sarah and the rest. I have a flying broom that can carry a lot of weight, and Ava just needs to be there and keep it in the air. If we don't mind making a couple of trips, unless someone has a spell that can mold Earth or something. I'm looking at you, Avatar. I think. Wait, mold Earth's a low-level spell. I could add that to my spell book. I could make that into a scroll. 1 second, y'all. Hold on. We're getting there.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
This whole episode, I feel like, is just Izzy's whiteboard.
That's what we're naming it. Izzy's whiteboard.
Izzy's
Episode
whiteboard.
33. Izzy's whiteboard. So, doing some quick maths because I love maths.
Yes, quick maths.
I love numbers. If we're saying the old airships, I'm going to say this in character as Nozak. Sorry. If the airships went on average about 25 to 40 kilometers an hour, and let's say the average Hume, not so much, all of us, because none of us are Humes except for Renoa and Squall at the moment. And the average walking speed of a Hume is around 2, 3 per hour, whatever. If we use the airship and it takes about a week to get from point A to point B, we're cutting 12 times the amount of time it will take. Because if we're doing an average of 30 miles per hour and the human's regularly walking at 3 or 4, that's 12 times less travel, technically. And that's at 30. That's not even pushing it to a max of 40. If we're going to 40, that's even sooner.
You're fucking welcome.
I never didn't say you were a genius. I've always been a fan of your work.
So
You're just
how
a
many
cunt in person.
Yeah.
8.
Sorry?
So how long would that be in person? Because that's a lot cut down.
Well, if it takes us, say, theoretically, it'll take us 2 weeks to get there.
Yeah, you're looking
I'd
at
probably need a couple of days.
if that.
There and back.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even.
So
This is probably terrifying having the 2 engineers be like, yes, we can do this, and they're just bouncing. And when I was like, huh?
Okay. So, we can most likely stop ourselves from even landing. It's just Ava will have to get closer to the ground, which will up our visibility, but at this point, I don't really care. Obviously, we're gonna have to be willing to take risks at this point.
And your broom holds a certain amount of weight, which...
I believe it can hold up to...
So the plan is for you to... This is Squall.
Between you, me, and Blake.
So the plan is for you to just basically hover above Alexandria. Izzy make multiple trips back and forth just to get the people on his broom and then turn and head back.
Yes. However, with over 200 pounds, I can hold up to 400. Sorry, I'm trying to stay in character. I can hold up to 400 pounds, but then my broom will move much slower. So
I mean, if you're just
unfortunately,
making the
if we-
trip from the airship to the ground,
That should be.
it sounds like
hence
half of the people we need are children.
yes, hence why I want just me and Grunther to go down if necessary. Because if something happens, like let's say a garrison of Empire troops are down there, and this is no offense to the rest of our party, I think the two of us could hold our own long enough to get everyone to the ship and back.
So when would you, and this is Hikael, when would you expect to do this? Because we still need to, would you like to do
as soon
this?
as possible, so hopefully by tomorrow.
So Grunthor, you and Blake, would you come back to Mysidia today with me? And then we would return here, and then you would leave first thing in the morning, heading for Alexandria. Am I following? I'm sorry. He like waves at your whiteboard. There's a lot of information here, and
Yeah, we're used to it.
I do have a suggestion to add on to all this.
okay.
There's another part of the whiteboard that just appears on the end of the extension.
Izzy creates another one just next to Grunthor.
60C. Blake and I accompany Hekael to Mysidia to do the testing, for me to talk to the woman, and hopefully further any developments towards the cure. And then we directly go to Alexandria while you guys head that way, and we meet up there.
That's actually
a really good idea.
Yes, that's a much better idea, I think.
Sir Gunthor, that's genius.
If I only had a brain.
That way, you can check in on your. I forgot what knights call the people they're supposed to protect. I don't think it's ward.
I thought of ward as well.
Sort of.
Whatever. You can check on Sarah, and with Blake there, she can check. Yes, and with Blake there, she can give any medical help to her mother if her condition hasn't gotten better.
And with our sending stones, Izzy, you and I can give you information ahead of time to let you know if there's anything you should expect, any surprises.
Of course, this is assuming that Blake accepts this idea.
Yeah, I'm good.
I feel a little bad for Blake. I'm not gonna lie, because you haven't been there from like the start, and we've got all these ideas, and I feel bad that Blake's like, yeah, is this like Stockholm syndrome setting in? Like, what's going on here?
Oh, don't worry. You all will be heading into the Norvalen region eventually. Blake has things waiting for her back home.
Don't like that.
The best one.
Okay, so with that said,
I like this plan.
The only thing we need to talk about is the order we wish to deal with the fish monster problem and the crystals. But it seems like any scragglers in Cornelia is less important than the people there, and that's on a time crunch of when he gestures to his brother when this one can find a cure. So it looks like we're dealing with the crystals first.
I would say, do we think that the attacks from the ocean people, are they going to cease now that the betrayer has been dealt with?
I haven't the foggiest clue.
My only
might slow
concern,
it down. I don't think it'll stop it completely.
if we could capture one of them,
Brother, have you been to Cornelia before?
I have not.
Good. Conrad was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Yes. In the recent years, the Cornelia had cut itself off even from even its closest allies. He looks over kind of at Squall.
Well, Lord Squall, do you have any shops that sell magical items here?
Yeah, we have a few. Nothing
do
like
they sell spell scrolls?
Nothing like what you're going to find where you're from, but yeah, we have some shops with some spell scrolls, of course. We are primarily militaristic here. Spellcraft we dabble in, but nowhere near as proficient as some of the other places.
How high level typically do these spell scrolls get?
You could probably here find something third or lower.
If they didn't have it, could I pay a shopkeep to make a scroll for me, or at least help me with one?
I can help you attain whatever you think you need within their abilities, of course.
Then he looks at Hikael and he says, "Then I will be able to get sights on Cornelia by tomorrow." Then.
Very well. So here's my proposal. If there's nothing else for us to discuss here, I would like to take Blake and Grunthor back with me now to Mysidia to get started on some of that work. We'll take a sample of Nozak, your blood, with us, if that's fine. And then we will reconvene in Alexandria. And I love that you have a knife just sitting next to you.
Yeah. If they're taking care... Okay, if he's going to be looking at Nozak's blood, then we can cut out all the shit I said I was going to do. And I'm going to focus on getting a scrying spell scroll.
Okay.
Mine's bigger.
Is
that
is that the Windhash?
Well, that's what he said.
Is that the Windhash sword?
No, it's Genji's from Overwatch. My friend bought it for me.
Gotcha.
I got excited.
So,
baby, it's okay.
Blake, myself, and Grunthor can be in Alexandria by tomorrow morning. Jesus! Okay. Now there's just more swords. Where are all these swords coming from? Okay.
Grunthor, are we surprised?
Jeez.
I mean, I might as well get mine while we're at it. I'm done.
I don't have a
Y'all,
sword.
there's a lady here. Can you save your sword party for a private time? Jesus.
All right.
Everybody's just whipping them out here. We are in mixed company, okay?
We are on Twitch, okay? Like, there are protocols on what we can have.
They're going to kick us all. They're going to be like, oh, this is...
Oh, can we please call this... Can we please call this episode Sword Party?
There's so many good names for this episode.
All right, so someone had a suggestion.
Hikael. Okay, so Blake, Grunthor, you can come with me. We'll take the sample from Nozak. We can be in Alexandria by tomorrow morning. That should give you, Grunthor, plenty of time to speak with whatever their name is. I won't be able to fully analyze all this by then, but I do have a team that's been working on this. I can entrust it with them. That shouldn't throw up any alarms with my father, because we are actively looking for a cure, even on his orders. So you could have your conversation. We could make it to Alexandria. Around that time, Izzy, you would be able to scry. We would know the situation in full. And then we meet up there whenever you get there. We could have everyone prepared to go.
Just promise me you'll move as quickly and as safely as you can.
I do, if you'll promise the same.
I'll try.
I have to say, Izzy, I'm very proud of you. Watching you here today, you've come a long way from when we were kids.
The camera goes to Izzy, who's just like hunched over like a little gremlin with like 3 whiteboards behind him. No, but he just said,
"This is your element."
Thank you.
You've grown into quite the wizard, quite the leader, to be honest.
I'm not even close to where I want to be at. I have a lot of plans.
That's good. Don't let anybody tell you can't do them again. You've spent too much of your life having people tell you that, and me included. Don't stand for that anymore.
Don't worry. Now, Nozak, if you could just give me your arm really quick.
With that, Hikael kind of stands, and as he does, Squall and Renoa stand too. It's been lovely to see both of you again. Wish it was under better circumstances. I wish you both luck. He looks towards Squall. I'll see you soon in Alexandria, and Renoa, if you need anything, let me know. I do still have a few friends in Mysidia that could get here in a pinch if need be. She just kind of says, I appreciate that. I think I have things covered here. I think me and Angelo can hold down the fort, but if we need you, we'll call.
Aw.
With that, he kind of looks around. Grunthor, Blake, are you ready? If you need some time to gather your things, it might be a bit before you come back.
I carry everything with me, but I go up. I want to go up to Nozak and to Izzy and to Ava, and give them a warriors, kind of put my hand on their shoulders, and especially reach way down for Nozak's, and safe travels. I hope we meet. We convene again very soon. Protect yourselves.
Don't worry, I'll keep them safe.
Yeah, luckily there's no kind of evil overlord god type person that might possibly attack the three people when they are down a healer in a tank. Luckily we don't we don't live in a world like that.
I am still both of those things in a pinch.
I mean, Grunthor and Blake are going to be great.
Listen,
it'll be fine.
I said I'm scared to teleport to Mysidia, but if I have to, listen, let's just say a portal's going to be made very quickly. But.
Well, I hope to see you all very soon. Shall we? And he looks to the two of you. We do have to leave the room because. And then with that, Squall and Renoa go, yes, sorry. And they both run over and just. Renoa very eagerly runs over and places her hand on her rune, and Squall very casually, trying to be cool, walks over and just kind of puts his arm up and just kind of leans against the wall and just waits as it unlocks and opens, letting them out. Once you get back in the hallway, the doors close behind them, and Grunthor, you and Blake, basically, Hikael reaches his hands out, grabs both of yours, and you form kind of a circle as he just closes his eyes and starts to mutter something, and you start to feel that very familiar tug in your stomach, and within a couple minutes, just...
Ava, make a con save.
Yeah, from the other room.
Please tell me Hikael says energize or something like that.
You land in this room with a big head and a tank. You're all Power Rangers now.
Blake
ahead.
is just like, hell. Under her breath.
You're like, oh, wait, shit. I just agreed to go back to the Flying City. I want out.
I know, she's going to do it. She's just like, hell.
Honestly, I will say Blake is probably the best person to have gone with Hikael because he might need some of those. He might need some extra rolls.
Fair. So, with that, you find yourselves placed back. You do go back to the teleportation room. The spell that Hikael specifically has takes him to that room, as opposed to Izzy's that takes him to his own room. As you get there, he releases both of your hands. He looks to you, Grunthor. I do believe that for now I have everything I need from you. If you would like to go have a conversation.
I just let out a bit of a breath and it's like, I'm ready.
Okay. I'll lead you back to where we met before. I'll cast the spell to where you can interact as we did before with the and then I'll give you your privacy. Just follow me. As he leads you back into the familiar room where you had this conversation before. And just like before, he creates this magical mirror-type portal to where you can now see into the room, almost like you're there, as you see the female Galka just kind of sitting there in the chair, playing with the smaller one. But you can't reach through. You can't touch. There's still that quarantine barrier. But once it's there, she kind of looks over as it appears. And give an insight check as you're doing that.
Do I get my headache just seeing her? Seeing them?
It's starting to, yes. Not as bad, though. But that's still there. 15. Okay.
15.
I will need you to give me the intelligence saving throw, but you do get it at advantage now.
You got it. Please, Grunthor, please. I need this lore.
As you're doing this, Hikael just says, I'll give you some
I'm going to
time.
burn an inspiration on that.
Blake,
Oh, thank God.
Hikael is leaving the room. You going to go with him, or are you going to try to sneak in and just eavesdrop on this?
I think she'd go with him.
Okay.
I'm burning my inspiration to re-roll. Do I roll both dice or one?
Just roll one more dice.
Please. Please.
Are you kidding me? The natural 20. Okay. So as you look at her, the pain starts to come slower than before, but you can feel it, and eventually it overtakes you, and you squint your eyes against it as the pain just throbs through your head. But you have come so far, and you are so close to getting answers to what's been happening, and through your sheer force of will, you force your eyes to open. The headache is still there, and it's throbbing, but you open your eyes and you're looking upon her, and your gaze is steady.
Oh.
She kind of gets up and just kind of pats the kid, who goes back to playing, and walks over towards the portal, where she just looks at you. And again, the headache is still there, and as she gets closer, it seems to even intensify, but you are not giving into this. She just kind of puts her hand up on it, and when she touches it, it stops her. There is a portal there. I've missed you. I remember, and I'm sorry for everything. I'm so sorry. If I had known what was happening, things could have been so different.
I'm the one that's sorry. Who are you?
You don't have to be sorry for that. I don't expect you to remember. I took that from you. I took more than I meant to, I think. I just wanted you to be safe. I just wanted you to forget us and not come after us. If I'd just known. Can you put your hand up, please? I don't know if it'll work without direct touch, but I want to try. You kind of place your hands, and as you feel it, you can almost feel like you're touching her. You're not. You're touching the portal, and you know that. But just the actual act of just placing your hand against hers, there's something psychological that just, it seems like you're connecting with this person. And something familiar about this hand, this touch. You're kind of staring. Which hand did you use?
My left, the one with the ring.
Okay. As your hands are touching, your eyes kind of drift down and find the ring. And as you're staring at it, the headache starts to intensify. I'll see if I can undo what I did. And then hopefully you can understand why. And hopefully we can move past it. And with that, you feel this wave of... even through the field, you feel this magic energy course up through your hand. Your headache intensifies to the point to where even with your sheer determination, you can't resist it. Give me an intelligence saving throw with disadvantage.
Rude.
Come on, double 20s.
18.
Hey!
Wow.
Okay. You close your eyes and you're fighting it so hard. Is your intelligence just straight, just a 0? That was a 20 and an 18, by the way, people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You're fighting
The
it
dice
so
are telling the
hard
story.
as she's like, you're resisting. She just continues and you feel it pulsing more. And eventually your eyes fly open. The headache comes to a pinnacle. And you think for a moment you're dying. The pain is so intense, throbbing in your temples, and the rest of your body just goes numb. And then in an instant, the pain subsides. And you're standing there, and a rush of memories start flooding back into your head. The mental block gone. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode, and we'll figure out exactly what's going on with that next week.
And we call this episode Memories.
There's too many names. I have to pick one.
I know, right?
Literally, it's gonna be like you going over your entire backstory, us getting like good old role play from Grunthor throughout the ages. Then it's just gonna cut to Izzy, who's just like holding like a basket full of spell scrolls and going through places.
Yes, we will probably find out some Grunthor backstory next time.
Yay!
I would do it now, but we've hit our 2-hour mark, and it's fun to end on cliffhangers. I'm not gonna lie, I just like doing it.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not even disappointed about that. I'm disappointed I won't get to see Blake roll a natural 20 to figure out a cure for the snake pox, because that's what I'm looking for.
Now, just because that didn't happen yet doesn't mean we still got some roles for that kind of stuff too. So save that. Blake's still got some part to play up here in Mysidia too. So, but Grunthor it's been 32 episodes, and I think we're about to find out a little bit more about you, sir. So,
A little?
Let's go.
his memories come back, and he's like, oh, I never paid attention to much. Still nothing. Well, with that, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Nice RP episode after many, many episodes of intense combat and dungeon delving. So it was a nice little breather for us. Lore dump as well. So with that, thank you all again for playing. Thank you for watching. Lally ho, friends, and we will see you next week. Have a great one. I can't wait. Bye.
Happy 4th. Happy 4th.
Oh yeah, happy 4th of July.